Hi, I'm Stal. This is a condensed version of my VOD when I was talking about stepping away from Final Fantasy XIV. If you wanted to ask, are you waiting for FRU? Are you still gonna be playing FF14? What are your future plans for stream? Then this should answer most of it. There's still a lot that I didn't get to talk about during the stream, but I think this is a good enough summary, and maybe I will talk about the other things some other day. I tried to timestamp the video, so if you want a quick TLDR or you're looking for a certain part, you can just skip to that. And don't ask me any stupid questions, yeah, I'll throw this slipper in your face. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and if you're progging FRU, good luck and have fun. Before I even start talking about any of this, I have to say that I've already planned to... I originally had the plan to do FRU. It's just that my IRL stuff didn't align, so I had to drop out. Also, if I have awkward pauses in between, I'm sorry because I'm coughing. When the IRL stuff happened and I was kind of forced to drop out, I think that also made me reconsider a lot of my plans for future stuff with FF, like whether do I want to raid, do I wanna continue playing the game, and if I do, at what level, because you can do hardcore, you can do casual, there are a lot of things to do in the game, right? Because it's not like I dislike the game or anything. I think a lot of people have a lot of grudge against, maybe grudge is not a good word, but they are very upset about like the lack of content, I guess. But that has nothing to do with my decision. I don't really care that much, because I know when point 2 drops, like, things are gonna start to pick up. Yoshi-P himself said, if you have nothing to do, unsub. So yeah, if that's what he wants, then just let it be, right? If you're not happy about it, then just don't play. I feel like this is not something you can really control, It's just the philosophy of this game, and it do be like that sometimes. I guess the only problem with this philosophy is that you run out of stuff to do and you unsub the first time, right? And then after that, you come back and you do another thing. Then you unsub again. The thing is, eventually at some point, maybe the first 1 or 2 times when you unsub, it doesn't bother you that much. But maybe in the 3rd or 4th time, you will eventually start to fill the gap with other games or other MMOs. I feel like the unsub will slowly get longer and longer and eventually become permanent unsub. Because there's not a lot of reason to pay $15 to come back, I guess. I think that's my only problem with this kind of design. I guess for me it's just, there's no point in doing the dailies. It's just there to fill the void, because change is scary and people don't like change. So you just constantly continue to do the things that you're used to because you're a pussy. I'm kidding. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I probably should have wrote stuff out. Hi, this is future style. I just decided to record over the footage because everything's all over the place and I'm just very lazy to piece the clips together. I want to clarify that I'm not quitting the game entirely, and I'm really sorry if anything that I said sounded like a debate at any point. It's not my intention, I just suck. I use the term retirement very loosely because it describes more of streaming retirement and a huge chunk of raiding, I guess, considering how important Ultimate is. At this current point, I have no intentions of doing any form of Ultimate, whether it be hardcore or casual, in regards to low commitment things like Savage and Criterion. So it kind of depends on what the content is, how good my friends are at when it comes to giving me FOMO, and how much I really want to play with the person, because, well, I like playing with people. Yeah. I will talk more about my future plans towards the end of the video. But yeah, this is the TLDR. If you're just here for that, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to hear me talk about the reasons and get upset about Bard again, yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you. Enjoy the video. All of my IRL stuff that happened, I do feel like Ultimate is just a waste of time. I'm not interested in doing Ultimate, HC, or casual. Like any of that, I don't care about it anymore. Even on the HC level, it takes up about a solid, what, week, 2 weeks. And then just to give you like a rough rundown of how it usually goes about. Before raiding, like before all of that, there's a bunch of things that you kind of need to do. So there's a lot of like prep raids. After that, you need to, you know, wait for the live ladder because they just fucking hate telling you when the ultimate's happening, I guess. Like they just hate telling you it exactly. So you just play a very cute guessing game of when exactly is the raid going to drop. And every time they say stuff like, oh yeah, it's going to be dropping on, you know, mid-November, and then you have to guess like, okay, so when exactly is middle of November? So you have to play that guessing game first. And then after that, you need to play the guessing game of, okay, so I guess we're not very sure of when exactly it will drop. So let's wait for some random event like a Moogle tombstone to get exactly when it's gonna drop. And then only like a couple of weeks before the patch drops, then they tell you like, oh yeah, the 7.1 is dropping on this day. And then if you mess up your, you know, if you take time off in advance, which you need to because, you know, we have lives and we touch grass, and surprise surprise, I'm not just a streamer, I also work IRL. If you take time at the wrong place, then you're fucked. And then in between all of that, it's just a bunch of like, you know, prepare for the raids. I think in general, Ultima is just very stressful to do HC because with Savage and Criterion, for example, these are very short-term commitment stuff where just taking Abyssos as an example, where I just, you know, I just put together a group and then I didn't do any prep raids with them or whatever, and I just went in with this group and we cleared in like 2 days or whatever. Oh my god, we haven't even got to talking about post-prep, like post-ultimate, I mean. Post-ultimate is the worst part because I feel, you know, every time I do an ultimate, I lose like 10 pounds or something. What is 10? Is it 10 pounds in freedom unit? Yeah. Like 5, I lose at least 5 kilograms. It's not that I'm not eating or anything like that. I am eating, but I think because every time I do ultimate, I get so stressed out. And I do eat, I do drink water and whatever, but every single ultimate I lose at least 11 pounds. It's there's something wrong with me. Like I think it really is just stress. Ultimate is literally like my weight loss plan, you know, because I just I just lose weight from that. So stupid. I normally take about 40 minutes ish to eat. So when I get to ultimate, I take like 4 hours to eat. I'm not even kidding. Like I don't even get to eat warm food because I can't eat fast enough. The breaks are not long enough for me to eat. When I eat, I have to rate and eat at the same time. I think that kind of plays a part in the weight loss stuff too. I end up eating a lot lesser than I normally do. And then because I'm also very stressed, yeah, that kind of happens. There's a lot of reasons as well. I would say like if I broke it down into 3 parts, FF14 in general, and then streaming and personal, right? I think FF14, I can probably talk about... I feel a bit bad saying this, but... Okay, look, I played this game for like a third of my life, alright? It's been like 8 years, okay? I'm almost hitting 10 years in this game, alright? Just next expansion, it's 10 years already. Okay, I really like Heaven Sword and Stormblood Bard. But... this job... I've been waiting for this job to be fun for the past 3 expansions, okay? 3 expansions, not 3 years, 3 expansions, alright? And it goes downhill more and more. The one time I get invited to media tour, I came out and they changed everything that I like about my job. Now, I had faith in, 7.0, and then I feel like things didn't really change all that much because I know they did a lot of fixes in QOL, which is amazing. Like now I can use songs as long as I'm in combat, and a bunch of shiny buttons that basically just replaces burst shot. Fine. And then now I'm being told that 7.0 is not really the combat, the job change expansion. It's going to be 8.0. Okay, so now you're telling me I have to wait another 2 years for some random unknown change in my job, which I don't even know if I'll like. I don't know if it's gonna be good. Do I really want to trust what they have been saying? Because honestly, they have not really been delivering in physical range role, and it's very difficult for me to put faith in the job changes when they literally just did a flamethrower buff. I feel like I've been very patient, okay, waiting for 3 expansions and having faith that things will change. But this goddamn role is a fucking mess for the past, like ever since they added Dancer, really. It's been just downhill the more you play Fizz range. And if the flamethrower buff, like the guy who made and approved the flamethrower buff, is any indication at all of how my Fizz range is going to be for 8.0, I do not really have faith in the game at all. I'm not trying to be negative about it, because there are all these annoying Twitter pricks talking about how like, oh, I can't believe people care about the job change, couldn't be me. Like, I just enjoy the game as it is. Like, okay, good for you, what do you want? Like, you want a cookie, you want a medal? Like, fucking Twitter people always say stuff like that. Like, I'm sorry you don't really care about your job, or you just enjoy other parts of the game. So I enjoy playing my job, so I have strong opinions about it. Like, sorry, I guess. So stupid. Like, why are you trying? It's just like, why are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that the rest of us who have opinions about our job shouldn't be talking about it? Like, we should not be upset that my role has been messed up for 3 expansions? Even though, I play other jobs too. I was supposed to prog as a caster for FRU and everything. Like, I just want my role to be good. I just want my role to be good. That's literally it. Okay, I'm not trying to hate on anything. It's just difficult to feel positive about it when it's been 6 years. Or it's going to be 6 years by the end of Dawn Show, I guess, or maybe 7. It makes it feel like we're not allowed to talk about our jobs, because like, oh, if you talk about it a little bit, or if you have any form of opinion, you're whining about it. And you shouldn't whine about it, because FF14 has so many other content. Like, fun fact, a lot of these content, like Alliance Raid and everything that you like the whole reason why we can do it is because we can click buttons and hit the boss, which affects my enjoyment in playing the game. Alright? But yeah, Fizz range. I think Fizz range is is probably the biggest reason why I feel so upset about like the game in general. I do find it very difficult to find enjoyment in the game anymore, when a lot of the things that I do in this game, I have to hit the boss in order to do it. And if I don't even have fun hitting the boss anymore, then it's a bit difficult for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm excited for raids. And I know a lot of people are going to say like, oh, why don't you play another job and whatever. Like, I am. It's just, when you like a job and it's your main job, no matter how many other jobs that you play, you still want your main job to feel good. You still want to go back to it because you like it, right? Why is it so difficult to understand? I don't know why people just like cannot understand this logic. It doesn't matter how many other jobs that you play or you enjoy. If you are very attached to one job, no matter what it is, you will still want it to be enjoyable for you. Well, I'm interested in the FF14 mobile though. I think it's kind of cool. If they don't block the people in Southeast Asia region, it'll be really cool. So I guess I'll find out. Yeah, and I think it's not even just about the fizz range stuff as well. Like, I'm not really a fan of the Nostron changes, and I'm someone who doesn't really play Dragoon all that much, so I didn't really talk about it on Twitter because, you know, I'm not very knowledgeable about Dragoon. It's just based off of feels. Same with TCJ. Like, I mean, I have played Ninja and Ultimate and Savage and all that, and I find TCJ fine. Like, I like TCJ actually because I think it adds like a very fun optimization, even though I get really pissed off. Like when I have to do stillness and then there's like a TCJ coming up, I'm just like, oh shit. You know? I'm not really feeling the bow light change as well. Like, I'm a bit iffy on it, but I also don't really play tank, so my opinions are not... I wouldn't say my opinions are not valid. I don't think anyone's opinion with job stuff is not valid. I think, you know, sometimes it's just a feel thing. You don't necessarily have to be like a god at the game or whatever. But it probably doesn't really matter that much on... I don't really like the bow light stuffs. For Double Down, I know my tank in the FRU group that I was in, I know he hates that because he finds it boring now. I don't know. But he really hates it. He was so pissed off. He's probably quitting the game like after FRU. I feel like Dragoon mains that like the changes mostly because you can press feint. It's too high level. I think the biggest thing that I really wish they changed for Ninja was, you know, that kunai? I don't know what's it called, that new gauge. When I was leveling it, I feel very like empty. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people will tell me to wait for 8.0 and I get that, but do you not feel like 3 expansions is long enough for them to figure out what they want to do with the role at the very least? I'm literally there for... You know, the most insulting part for me, right, as a fizz range main, is that they need to give people a reason to bring fizz range. They needed to add the 5% so that people bring fizz range. Like, you really can't think of anything else for people to want me in their group. It has to be like a 5%. You know what I mean? And at this rate, like, do we even need it? Because have you seen like Picto damage? You bring double Picto or Picto Black Mage and they probably do more damage than me. Or they provide that with everything would probably kill faster. And like, this is only made even more prominent this expansion. Like, I thought with all the experience that you got, you want to change the class in 8.0, fine, but I feel like you're not even getting the fundamentals right. And then the 7.1, you didn't do anything to help with that at all. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if FRU has a forced fizz range thing. My role being an absolute shit show, and I just find it so difficult to want to play the game. Even if I play other classes, and I do enjoy Picto and all that, but I really try and believe in the devs, you know. As much as I'm salty about fizz range for such a long time, it's been like 4 or 5 years. It's probably gonna be 6 years at the end of Doncho and whatever. And I'm just finding it difficult to be coping for 8.0, I guess. And I hate that I'm feeling this way because I really do like the game a lot. I really enjoy FF14. I've met a lot of people in FF14. But I really don't know how much longer I can keep telling myself that. Sounds like a breakup, man. Like, you have to understand that I played this for a third of my life, okay? This is literally part of my childhood. Or teenagerhood. Whatever my future plans are and everything. But yeah, I guess that's like part of the FF portion of it. There's other stuff that I can really talk about too, but I don't feel like it's very important. For a streaming perspective, I'm really, really lucky to have a very strong and loyal and dedicated community. I think a lot of people, especially, you know, Final Fantasy XIV creators that think about wanting to branch into variety and all that, I'm very, very, very lucky that I have a community that quite literally watches me no matter what I play. I feel like, especially after, I don't know if you guys saw like Gerald and Saren, you know, if you're on Twitter, they posted something about them kind of burning out on FF, and because, you know, they're like dedicated FF14 streamers, right? And it's kind of difficult for them to like keep doing this all the time kind of deal. When I read the post, I think was when I really realized that, well, I'm actually very fortunate to have such a supportive community. As time went by, I feel that more and more people don't like to see me play FF14. Like, kind of weird. It's a little bit weird because like most people found me from FF14 and then all of a sudden they're like, stop playing FF14. I think more and more people have been enjoying when I play variety. Maybe it's because all sorts of reactions to stuff and whatever, right? Yeah, I think there are people who still like it when I play FF14, but I do see an increasing amount of people who are just... It's not like they don't like it, maybe. It's like they don't mind it, but I always find that my chat is ultra quiet whenever I do FF14 content, with this being an exception because now I'm talking about, you know, retiring and all that kind of stuff, right? An ultimate raider who goes play Stardew. My niche for FF14 has always been the HC raider, like the sweaty raider who doesn't do anything sweaty. Because I'm always there for, you know, the hardcore stuff and whatever, like day one things. But then if you watch me outside of that, I'm like casual as fuck. It's a bit of like a gap, I guess. I think a lot of people don't really expect that initially. But then when they watch me do variety, they realize how dumb I am at a lot of things. I'm not a gamer at all. And most people also don't know that I've never raided in other games before. My initial plans when I first played FF14 was to be rich. I guess that's one thing. Like, my community is definitely starting to go in the kind of variety direction. Obviously, my stream numbers are not as high when I play other games compared to FF14 because, you know, most people do still know me from FF14. But I definitely feel a lot happier playing other games. And weirdly enough, as someone who plays FF14, I avoid FF14 streams. I avoid FF14 streams and anything like videos. I don't want to watch anything FF14 related. I guess now is a good segue to talk about the content creation scene in FF14. This is I'm not trying to pinpoint any creator or anything like that, okay? Like, this is not attacking anyone whatsoever. But you do have to admit that other than guides and stuff, the content creation scene in FF14 is so negative. Like, a lot of it is just drama and react videos, and it doesn't really serve any form of purpose into the game itself. It's like you could do the same thing without FF14. You know, you can react, you can talk about drama. It's not really about the game anymore. I do think the community as a whole, after a period of time, has been we're not really innovating anymore because there's nothing to innovate. And a lot of things you can't really talk about because they use third party. So you can't be creative with a lot of things because if you show a third party, they're just gonna ban you. And then you will probably provide something to the community because then we're gonna get like a new feature next patch or something like that, you know. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of how a content creation scene is like, and I think the realization of that really hit me when I was looking at the content creation scene of old school RuneScape. They're very, very fun to watch. It's kind of insane. Like, how big of a difference it is. You really need to see it to understand the difference. I think it's also because the philosophy of this game, right? Like how FF14 is designed to be. It doesn't really promote a lot of creativity when it comes to content creation. I would say the most innovative thing that I've watched in FF14 is Namafell. Namafell is a FC kind of thing in Elemental Tomberry, where they do a lot of theater shows. So they did one for like Pirates of the Caribbean and all that, and that's like the most innovative that I've ever seen. You guys can go check them out. But I do feel a lot of it is also very difficult to do because of the third-party restrictions. Streaming it also has become not very fun. Yeah, the game is not very... You know, like, for example, when I mentioned Old School RuneScape, OSRS design is a very sandbox and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things you can do. But FF is just kind of... It's a bit difficult to break out of that box. You have a lot of discussion videos when it comes to content creation in FF and things like I've played FF. I think like, is it Pint? I don't know how to pronounce their name now, sorry. But you know, they do all sorts of FF14 videos, but I feel that you can't really go beyond that because of the restrictions that you have on 14 and how so many things are not really allowed in the game. So even on the content creation front, it's not great. And it also doesn't really help that I'm from Southeast Asia. And while they recognize, like FF14 does recognize Singapore, all my other friends in Southeast Asia are not really recognized. So, they can't even see the game on Steam, by the way. But I think that's also what makes FF14 such a casual MMO. You know what I mean? Like, it comes with sacrifices because the reason why FF14 is so easily accessible and everything is also because we're locked into a certain kind of direction and path that we take. So I guess that's kind of on the content creation front. Then on the personal level, I guess I'm just not really... I don't hate the game. Like, I have to keep saying this because people keep thinking I'm criticizing the game or like I'm hating it for no reason. I don't hate the game. I think generally I just find it a bit of a... It feels like a routine, you know? I feel that it's not that FF14 is a bad thing, but there's just so much more opportunities as well, you know, ever since I pivoted more towards variety, like on the streamer POV, right? And I think it makes a lot of sense. But just yesterday I did a Dragon Quest III HD2D sponsored stream. Back in the day when I used to only play Final Fantasy XIV, I never really got all these opportunities at all. You know, being sponsored by stuff like that is really difficult because it's kind of like a portfolio, right? Like a good way to describe it is that streaming is your portfolio. So if they only see that you play Final Fantasy XIV, so they just think that, oh, she plays MMORPGs, but we don't know that she plays JRPGs. We don't know that she plays, you know, comfy farming games, simulation games, strategy building. Like, we don't know any of that because how would they know if I never played it before? Like, after pivoting into variety, it's like my enjoyment went up and my income went up. Even the money that I'm earning is going up. And it was like suffering when I was in FF. Not suffering, but more of like, you know, a lot of... For people that don't know, when you're a streamer, a lot of your bigger income incomes and stuff like that, they all come from sponsorships. Because, for example, you can charge like hundreds per hour instead of, you know, you just stream FF14 and you get paid by ads and subs and stuff like that. But sponsors are random, right? It's like RNG. So technically speaking, the more variety that you show people, the higher the chances of getting sponsors, because they wouldn't want to sponsor me a horror game because I don't play horror. You know what I mean? I know next week when FRU drops, people who missed this stream and people who are not on Twitter will ask me about, you know, oh, you're not doing FRU, you know, that kind of thing, which is fine. But I just wanted to let you guys know in advance so it's not really a surprise or anything. I think most people that have been watching me actively, you would already know that this is not really a surprise to you guys, that you would have already known that this day was about to come. It's just a waiting room really of when I would make the official announcement, because I did talk about it a lot, but I've never really made it very official. And I guess in a way, making it official also holds myself accountable to not give in to going back to FF14 just because it's my comfort zone. Hello, it's me, the person who yapped too much, and now I have to re-record this whole thing because I'm too lazy to look for the clips. So I'm just gonna very quickly talk about my future plans for streaming FF14 and variety stuff. So on FF14, the chances of me raiding is extremely low, so the only time you will really see me play FF14 is probably when I'm playing with friends or I'm doing something that I'm interested in, like cosmic exploration or something like that. But other than that, I will be going full focus on variety. There are a lot of games that I have not played before, like Chrono Trigger, Nier, the Trails series, FF 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 15, and kind of just a bunch of stuff. And on Monday, I'm going to be starting Xenoblade 1, so I'm really excited to just be playing a bunch of variety games. On the YouTube side of things, my friend and I are actually thinking of starting a podcast next year. I thought it's kind of interesting and it's pretty nice. It helps me improve on my English, and maybe I can formulate my thoughts and speak a little better. There are also other things that I'm thinking of uploading, but basically it's just gonna be a lot of stepping out of my comfort zone and trying new things. I don't know if this video comes across as pointless or stupid, because maybe people thought that I was going to entirely quit FF or something, but I felt like I really needed to do this to move forward. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting me, and to those who continued watching me as I stopped playing FF14 actively. You're so real for that. And I will always be very grateful that you gave me a chance to do this, and you really opened up a lot of opportunities for me, so thank you so much. Yeah, I guess here's to a brand new journey, experiences, and just an overall good time. I'll stay hydrated, drink water good, have a good day or night, and I'll see you guys on twitch.tv/stal. Oh, I also multi-stream on YouTube now, but I do it on the VODs channel. Hi, thank you for watching.